In this video, we're going to talk about the FasTest NFC adapter, which is used in conjunction with the Excel top valve, which also has an NFC fitting. It's a French NFC fitting, and it goes with our 580 connector. You want to?
Yeah. So this adapter is in use on CGA 580 racks, so that you can still fill your Excel tops here, and it's to be used with the CGA 580 connector from FasTest. Use our number 9 handle. Details on this are covered in a separate video. Just showing how it all works together as a system here.
In this video, we'll cover installation, maintenance, the unique operation of the adapter itself, and then we'll also cover some tips and tricks along the way.
All right, for installation of this adapter, there really isn't much for installation. It's a loose adapter that goes in between your valve and your CGA 580 connector here. Now there will be installation on the CGA 580 connector, and you can follow those instructions on the bail handle video that's also available, or they might be already installed in your location.
Operation of this adapter is real simple, just like all of our other connectors. But before we cover that, we're going to talk about the inspection.
Yeah, so to inspect this, you're going to want to make sure that the sleeve operation is nice and smooth. So in order to do that, your connector is normally going to be open like this. You're going to use a fitting, and I'll show you why in a sec, but you'll want to push on the end of the piston and actuate your sleeve. When that happens, a little piece of the pin sticks out, so that's why you don't just want to push your thumb in there. But in this case, the sleeve went nice and smooth, open and closed. And you do that again, just so you can see. Use a fitting with a hole through it so that the pin has a place to go. Sleeve actuates, collets come down. And what you'll also want to do is take a look at the pin condition and actuate it with the handle here. There's a little diagram on and off. Right now the pin is on. You can see it's sticking out further. And then off is when it's retracted in. So you want to make sure that pin isn't bent or damaged. And also the O-ring condition here. You want to take a close look at that O-ring, make sure there's no nicks, cuts, dings, or excessive wear, as that's what makes the seal in the valve.
Also want to take a peek at the collets, make sure the collets are in good shape, make sure there's no dings, dents, make sure the teeth are in good shape so they're getting a hold of the valve properly. And then just, good visual inspection of this outer sleeve, make sure it's not dented or banged up. If it's dented or crushed, it's going to really prevent the actuation of the adapter itself. So I should about cover it.
For operation, again, this is for the Excel top only with the NFC threads on it. That's where this adapter goes. So first of all, you're going to want to make sure your adapter is in the open position. You can see the collets out here. Previously, if it's closed, the collets will be hidden. So you will want to make sure it's in the open position before you try to make a connection. And what you want to do is align it with the valve, make sure it's axially aligned, and then gently push on. It shouldn't take a lot of force, and you're on, you're connected. You've heard it click, the collets are engaged, the sleeve is forward, and you've now made that connection. So the next thing you're going to want to do is grab your 580, and this is covered in a little bit more detail in the bail handle video, but now this is just like this is a CGA 580 connection here. You want to then go ahead and push this on, and now you've made your 580 connection.
Now, once you've made all your connections on your manifold with all your cylinders in the rack, just in the sequence that Jason described, adapter, then your 580, all the cylinders, this is the critical last step, but it has to be the last step. That's when you actuate the actual lever here to push the RPV pin forward and compress the RPV pin on the valve itself. And when you do that, it's going to do two things. When you actuate it, it's going to lock the sleeve onto the, in this position so that we can't disconnect it from the valve. The other thing it's going to do when you turn this lever right here, you have full access to immediate cylinder pressure that's in the cylinder. This is why it's very important that you have all your connections made before you do this, because if you didn't make a connection further on down the line, the cylinder pressure from this cylinder is going to vent out whatever line is not attached further down the line. So always the very last step of the process is to actuate the lever for the RPV pin. I think that all covers it.
Yeah, maybe one more tip. If you are having an issue connecting, maybe something isn't aligned quite right, you can always rotate the collets relative to the connector here. And that might help a situation where you've kind of gone peak to peak on the threads, and now you go peak to valley and it'll be easier to connect. It's a pretty uncommon problem, but if that happens where things just don't quite want to collapse the right way, just take it out, rotate your collets 180 degrees, and try it again.
Just like our other connectors. Nice.
Maintenance on the adapters are fairly easy. Really all you need to do periodically is replace this front O-ring seal, and we'd recommend doing that roughly every 3 months or 1,000 fill cycles. To do that, you'll need a sharp pick here and a spare pack of seals, which you should purchase from FasTest to get the correct O-ring material and make sure it's clean. Take your pick and just get underneath that O-ring and pick it up and lift it up and over the groove, and you're able to pick it out, discard the old O-ring, grab a new one, and use your fingers and just place it in the O-ring groove. Make sure it's fully seated, and that's it.
Full operating instructions for this adapter along with the replacement parts can be found on our website.
And as always, if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to Fast Sales.
Thank you again for being a valued FasTest customer.
Thank you.